The other Ryan.
Get your free market analysis by clicking the Utterback Real Estate icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
You're in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the phone today is Caitlin Mellendorf. She is a nutrition and wellness educator with the University of Illinois Extension. Good morning, Caitlin. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I was telling you before we got started, my brain is just like in a haze this morning. It's a fog, and so I was kind of telling you, like, I'm just not thinking straight. And I realized when I said Caitlin Mellendorf with Extension, and I didn't even say the counties. Like, I actually didn't do that accidentally. I did that accidentally. I didn't even do it on purpose. And then I got to remembering that last time I couldn't get the counties right. So I just didn't even try this time. So how about that? But Caitlin, it's always good to talk with you. And we're going to dive into, of course, we got Memorial Day coming up. And I know we talked food safety, summer grilling, some of those things in our last visit. Let's re-highlight some of those things as we, kind of get into the cookout season, the gathering season gets underway with Memorial Day. How about some of those things to start us out today?
Yeah, that's a great idea to kind of recap because a lot of that information overlaps. So we've talked in previous months, and I know we talk about it probably every year about grilling safety. But yeah, for Memorial Holiday and other outdoor cookouts, and we're getting into summer and gatherings over the summer. And so, yeah, having food safety in mind is always important when you are traveling with food or you are grilling outside or you're cooking outside or you're doing anything where the kind of practicality of having easy access to hand washing in your home kitchen or access to your oven in your home kitchen. Sometimes that kind of goes out the window when you're doing these outdoor events. And so I want to invite everyone to think about food safety. So in terms of grilling, we've talked about reminding folks it's a good time of year to get your grill out of storage, start cleaning it up. If your grill grates are still kind of grody from last year, get a good bristle brush out, scrub those clean. If you've got gas-powered or propane-powered burners, make sure that all your hoses are hooked up correctly or still in good shape. If you need to refill your fuel, go do that. Or if you are using charcoal, go restock your charcoal for the season and get all those cobwebs and dust that's collected up over being in storage over winter. Get all that set up first. That's a great way to practice just food safety. And then when it comes to actually doing the event the day of, consider I always talk about 4 different things. So clean, separate, sorry, my brain kind of lost that one too. Clean, separate, cook, chill. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So cleaning is all about hand washing. So making sure that when we are working with particularly raw meats, we're washing our hands in between those. For making hamburger patties, we're washing our hands before we start with the meat. And then when we're done making the patties, we wash our hands after. And then whenever we're switching tasks. So if I'm going to go from those hamburger patties and now I'm going to start making potato salad, making sure that I'm washing my hands between those 2 tasks. So that's some of the cleaning aspects, making sure you're also having clean surfaces. So you are not cross-contaminating by prepping that hamburger patty on the same cutting board that maybe you're not going to start working on that potato salad. So making sure you're using separate utensils, cutting boards, knives, all of that for different tasks. Mm-hmm. And so that's the clean, that's the separate. Cooking is about getting out that good food thermometer, making sure that it's working. If it needs a new battery, put a new battery in it. And using that thermometer to check the temperature of your food products. So USDA has a nice chart of all of the internal cooking temperatures for meat. So check those out so you make sure you have the most current numbers on that. And then the last one of our clean, separate, cook, and chill is about chilling leftovers. So if you've got that leftover potato salad or you've got a couple leftover burgers that you want to save, it's a 2-hour mark that you have to remember. So 2 hours from when that food comes off the heat source, or for example, that potato salad comes out of the refrigerator, you get 2 hours at room temperature. And then if you want to save those leftovers for later, put those back into cold storage and eat on them at another time. So clean, separate, cook, chill. I think that's our review for grilling and food safety.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Again, Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator, University of Illinois Extension, our guest on the phone here for this morning. And speaking to that, that cleaning side of it, Caitlin, I mean, that is a huge aspect. Let's dive into that a little bit more. Not only keeping our surfaces clean, probably keeping our hands clean. I was watching one of those kind of rescue shows, if you will, the restaurant bar type of rescue shows the other day, and the practices of folks in the public food preparation world, sometimes can be a little sketchy. They're maybe not washing their hands between handling certain meats. I'm sure trained professionals know this, but obviously, for us at home, it pertains to us as well. If we're handling chicken, we're handling beef, need to wash our hands between each of those.
Yeah, I don't even think I have anything extra to add. I think you captured it great. So, and also thinking about washing hands is also where you're putting your hands after. So I know for me, I sometimes have my phone or my tablet out while I'm cooking so I can reference a recipe.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to make sure that I'm washing my hands, but we touch those screens at all times of day, even when our hands are not super clean. So sometimes it's the unexpected, newer technologies. If it's really great to have your phone or a tablet so you can pull up that website with the recipe you're looking for, but how often are you touching that screen during the rest of your day? And it may not be super clean. So being very aware of how many surfaces you are touching unexpectedly, not just, the usual things we talk about knives and cutting boards and surfaces, but even things like technology. Think about, what are you touching? What are your surfaces look like, including things like touch screens?
For sure. That's a great point. Those screens, whether it's a tablet, the smartphone, whatever it is, we're maybe following that recipe you're talking about. Obviously, touching those screens, we got to be aware of that as well, and the maybe germs and such that are on those things. Caitlin, as we chat for this morning, any recipes that you're promoting, you're doing this Memorial Day weekend that you want to talk about?
So I have been on a kind of pasta salad kick. I'm not a big mayo dressing person, but I do like a good vinegar and oil kind of dressing. So lately I've been kind of into like coleslaw with vinegar, like vinegar and oil dressings, a lot of cabbage salads, but I think just anything local. I know we promote a lot of local foods and extensions, so I'm a big fan of that as well. So this time of year into late spring, early summer, we're starting to see strawberries and asparagus coming out, radishes and carrots and leafy greens, so lettuces and darker greens like kale are coming into season. So these are really good uses for having local foods that added to your holiday menu for the year. And I love being able to follow the farmers that are in our local area and see kind of what they're growing and be able to incorporate those things into the menus that I plan.
For sure. So when you talk about like you're not into like mayo, what do you substitute that with then for your like say pasta salads or other maybe like a macaroni salad or something like that? What do you replace that with?
Yeah, I've been really enjoying the vinegar and oil, so more of
Okay.
that kind of like kind of sour kind of dressing. And then there's some kind of Thai inspired dressings with peanut butter and soy sauce that add a little bit of just kind of some interesting flavors. So definitely not the typical pasta salad, but something just adds a little different flavor, and I enjoy that kind of vinaigrette dressing to those.
Okay, gotcha. Very good. I know that sometimes, like if you're looking for a substitute for like mayo, sometimes you can turn to like Greek yogurts. Maybe a little seasoning or like you said, maybe some oil in there. Greek yogurt sometimes is a good little hidden substitute for that as well, and other things. I mean, Greek yogurt I think has a lot of flexibility to it.
I agree, and I have nothing against mayo. I've put it on sandwiches. There's just something about a lot of pasta salads for me with mayo. They just seem super heavy, and I like the kind of lightness that comes with a vinaigrette dressing.
Okay.
But yeah, Greek yogurt would be a great alternative to add a little bit of extra protein in your salads, as well as some of those helpful bacteria in the yogurt too. So
No
you'll
question.
extra benefit.
Definitely. Any go-to recipes, Caitlin, for you? I mean, even if it's just a simple burger, or I don't know, porks or something of that nature. Like, what do you like to turn to for your Memorial Day foods?
Oh, I think a good barbecue rub.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big barbecue sauce fan, but a good smoked meat with a good rub on it, that's pretty excellent in my book.
That's up your alley, Sure. So, and when it comes to just again, Caitlin, Memorial Day, as we look to food safety and those sorts of things, where are some resources through Extension we can turn to? Do you have anything good you recommend for us if we're looking out there for some good resources?
So we're always continuing to expand the resources that are on our website, including free printable resources. So there are recipes on our different blogs, as well as resources around food safety at our website, which is extension.illinois.edu/food.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll take you to a lot of different food-based resources, including some food safety ones. And then for folks that want to check out USDA, FDA, and foodsafety.gov, all of those will have additional resources that are going to be really great references as you're trying to look at temperatures, as well as general food safety things that we talked about of the clean, separate, cook, and chill topics.
Caitlin, you bring a lot of great stuff with you, and we've got more of it coming folks' way. Let's take a time out here. Come back with more. Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator for the University of Illinois Extension, our guest on the phone. More to come with Caitlin on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Thursday. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network. We start in the red again. July corn opening 549.5, down 12. September corn 487.5, down 9.5. And December new crop 492, down 7. July beans starting this Thursday 1328.25, down 8 3/4. August beans down 11.25. 1263.5. November new crop 1177.25, down 10.25. July wheat 609, down 16.5. September wheat down 16.25, 621.5, and December wheat 639.5, down 16.25. July bean meal 419.10, that's down 620, and July bean oil 46.14, down 27 cents. So look at the opening numbers of the Chicago Board of Trade on this Thursday. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
If you think a new or used car is in your future, the time is now to call the Baum Chevrolet Buick sales team here in Clinton or Farmer City. This is Scott Baum. With a professional sales consultant in your corner, the vehicle search is easy. Meet with our sales team to go over your wants and needs. We'll start the search and do all the legwork for you. With so many models and options to choose from, we can help you get the information you need. BaumChevyBuick.com. Right from the start.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4 lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator with the University of Illinois Extension in DeWitt, Macon, and Piatt counties. Caitlin, I tried the counties this time and I got it right. But at any rate, you want to talk about no-cook meal ideas for the summer. I am fascinated to hear about this. What are no-cook meals?
Yeah, so this is a great thing when it's the heat of summer. We're probably not really craving soup or chili or stew or a lot of hot meals anymore, just because the temperature is so warm. And also, depending on your house, turning on the oven or a stovetop can just feel really extra hot. in your kitchen. I know that's how I feel in the summer. If I turn on my oven, I've got the fan running. I know I can hear the AC kicking on in the background because it's just hot when we do that. So adding in some no cook meal ideas is a great way to just kind of turn down the heat in summer, and then having some of these cooling foods can be really helpful. Now, in terms of no cook, I think this can be this term can be a little bit fudged. You know, some people might consider heating up food in a microwave not really cooking necessarily, or are scrambling eggs. You know, yeah, that's cooking, but if you did it in a microwave, is it not cooking? So there's a little bit of debate on, you know, is it truly no cook, or am I allowed to do some type of heating? You know, anywhere in the process. And I would say, you know, you're going to do what works for you. And that's great. So in terms of no cook meals, these can be things like, actually, so I'm going to back up for a second. So the My Plate is the current food guide. So some of you may have seen this. It's a plate model. So it's got a plate in the middle and it breaks it down into different food groups. If you are familiar with the food guide pyramid, this is the update. The My Plate is the update to the food guide pyramid, and it still includes different food groups. So the current categories of food group for this model are fruits and vegetables, grain products, and I lump in starchy vegetables with this group. So things like potatoes and corn and beans can go in this grain/starchy vegetables group. So we have fruits, vegetables, grains, and starchy vegetables. Protein foods, so that can be meat, eggs, beans can also overlap in this area, nuts and seeds. And then if you are someone that does dairy, the My Plate model puts a glass of milk, or you could do yogurt or a non-dairy milk product as like a drink or a beverage on the side. So in terms of thinking about that, if you're planning a meal, I like to recommend about 3 to 5 of these food groups at a meal, 1 to 2 for snacks because you're not eating as much food. And in terms of no cook meals, some ways you can kind of pair this together would be things like doing fruit salad with veggie sticks and dip. You can add in a protein source like maybe a jerky bar or a meat stick. You could do hummus, which is a bean dip. You could do a bean dip like hummus with crackers. You could do cottage cheese and fruit. There's a lot of ways to kind of mix and match, but just thinking of foods that you don't necessarily have to cook. And you can kind of pair and mix and match there. It does limit a little bit of what you can do because you are not cooking things, but it can be a really nice way to kind of pre-prep some foods for summer when you're busy. You've got kids going to the pool in the evenings. You've got just a lot of heat in the summer air, and so you may not want to cook. So some of these cool foods, or even I call them snack boxes. So even though I call it, you know, it's a snack box by name, it can be a full meal. You can have enough food to get you through the day. I know we're starting to get into summer, so we'll start to have peaches and cherries and berries that are coming into season. And so those are really great things to add to a snack box. And I could go on and on. I think just a lot of fruit salads, vegetable salads. Again, do you want to consider cooking some pasta for a cold pasta salad? It's a no-cook recipe when it's done because it's already cooked pasta. But again, that's why there's some of that debate of you can still maybe do a little bit of cooking. And for me, I honestly kind of put slow cooker meals into this no-cook category just because it doesn't heat up my kitchen nearly as much as cooking on my stovetop or in my oven. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, that is fantastic stuff. I really like it. I really like the idea of like some fruit salads, like mixing your vegetables together, that sort of thing, a mixed vegetable, like a pasta salad like you talked about for sure. I was, Caitlin, just as you were starting to talk about that, I was wondering, you talk about no cook meals. I don't know if I don't know if you're on Instagram or not, but there is a like the Instagram algorithm has figured out that I want healthier recipes that still taste good. Like I'm not a big healthy but bland food eater. I want like a little flavor with my stuff. So they're starting to cater my searches and such for those things. Have you seen this phenomenon? It's not exactly healthy, but we don't have to eat healthy all the time. It's like you take like your favorite Subway sandwich or your favorite sub sandwich, and you basically lay out all the ingredients, sans the bread, like on a cutting dish or a cutting board, right? And I mean, and it's everything. It's the mayo, it's the lettuce, it's the oil, it's the seasoning. You just throw it all together on this cutting board, and then you chop it up, and then you put it on a roll. You like put it on a roll of bread or something like that, and you eat it. Have you seen this phenomenon? It's like everywhere on Instagram.
I must be on a different area of Instagram, but I'm not surprised. I know there's a lot of this kind of deconstructed food, almost art. It's almost artsy in a way. So there were the different charcuterie board ideas that went around. So there's a peanut butter board that went around where you take a cutting board and you spread peanut butter and you kind of make it artsy with different dipping items, so pretzels or vegetable sticks, and you've got peanut butter. I've seen it with even like butter, so you could spread some soft butter and kind of do like with bread or cheese and fruit, with having a little bit of bread for the butter, and then you can pair it with some cheese or some fruit. There's all sorts of these really cool like deconstructed sandwiches and salads and boards. So yeah, I'm totally not surprised. And it can add a little bit of fun to food, and I think that's super helpful.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
like
there's
that.
then okay, so that you talking about that led me to, and man, we've got 1 minute. So okay, there's like you take like aluminum foil or like parchment paper or something like that. You throw it over your table or your counter, and like you throw all your stuff for like tacos on there. So like your chips and your meat and your cheese and your lettuce, and like, have you seen that one too? Where it's like you just throw it all on the table. Have you seen that one?
I have actually seen this one. I mean, I think the goal is just to get a little, again, get fun with food, get a little bit messy, and maybe help a little bit with cleanup, because you're not worrying about washing your plates or your forks later. You can just kind of lay it all out. Yeah.
I feel like cleanup with that one is like, I mean, it's like not a mess, but it's a mess at the same time. Caitlin, I don't mean to do this to you. I got to let you go. Great fun talking with you as always. Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator, U of I Extension, network news on the way.
1520 WHOW Clinton, 92.3 FM, W222